Hey, I was just at the gym and I was listening to Locked On Nets, and they're talking about the Laker trade with the Nets for Knect Claxton. And I'm telling you guys right now, Knect Claxton is the name that's been put out there. That's the narrative that management, in my opinion, management once floated. And they're going to, again, put their finger in the air and see what sticks, right? So they're talking about a trade of Dalton Knect, the 2031 first, and maybe a pick swap for Knect Claxton. You guys, Knect Claxton averaged 10 points and 7 rebounds. Daniel Gafford averaged 12 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, what are we talking about here? You know? I'm not understanding. DeAndre Ayton, 14 points and 10 rebounds. What are we talking about here? You're really going to give up Dalton Knect, right? Who probably should have averaged 15 points a game last year, if given the time and the opportunity. But we all know we did not have a coach who was willing to give the time and opportunity to anybody outside of 5 guys, because had he done that, and yes, I'm talking about game 5 of the first round, had he given time to anyone out of 5 guys, he would have thought it perceived to the public that he was not trying hard enough, or that he didn't do everything. It was about JJ Redick playing 5 guys in the second half of game 5 versus Minnesota. That was about JJ. It was not about the team. It was about JJ Redick. Okay? So you take a guy like Dalton Knect, who obviously did not get the opportunity he should have gotten. Given what he did early on in the season, he regressed. He did not progress. You understand? And the Lakers are throwing around his name like it doesn't matter. And that's what got us effed up in the first place. You see, we thought Julius Randle didn't matter, so he could just walk for nothing. An asset that eventually netted New York Karl Anthony Towns. We thought we could just let walk for nothing. Ivica Zubac, who is probably a first-team center in the NBA. Probably an all-defensive team center. I mean an all-first-team center in the NBA. I meant what do they call it? One of the first 3 teams that you could make the best team. He's one of the best centers in the NBA. Right? We let walk for Mike Muscala. Alex Caruso, we let walk for nothing. And that's the problem with this organization and the dumbass talking heads who net the biggest audiences for the Lakers. That's the problem. See, they keep throwing. Let me tell you something, man. Dalton Knect for Knect Claxton is a fair trade. That's the trade. Not the first round pick. That's the trade. Knect Claxton is in his 6th or 7th season. Last year he averaged 10 points and 7 rebounds. How much more do you want to give the Nets for Knect Claxton? You know? Talking about throwing a pick swap. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, I'm watching Anthony Irwin on Locked On Nets, and I'm just listening to it, and it's just like... And then Anthony Irwin starts devaluing Dalton Knect. Talking about, well, you know, he's 24 years old, and he just got through with his rookie season, and he doesn't have the intelligence or the basketball IQ. And it's like, what are you talking about? Did you guys not watch Luka Doncic pound the hell out the ball like a freaking moron, right? For 16 seconds, 18 seconds of a shot clock? Did you not watch JJ Redick let him pound the ball for 18 seconds out of a shot clock and not say shit? Does that reflect on their intelligence? Did you not watch in the first round against Minnesota, Luka Doncic walk the ball right to the corner, right? So that he had 2 defenders on him, the half-court line and the sideline guarding him. Did you guys not see that? Does that not speak to intelligence? I mean, I don't know why you're devaluing Dalton Knect so much. And I know why. Actually, I do know why. You want to justify the trade of him. That's what you're doing. This is very similar to what a country will do right before it goes to war with another country. Right? It's the Gulf of Tonkin. It's us hyping up how bad Saddam Hussein was. You got to sell the war to the public. You got to win in the court of public opinion. You need to have the public behind you so that when you do this dumb shit, it's not all your fault. The public supported it too. That's what's going on with this, because it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. At the end of the day, right, Laker Nation, remember, Knect Claxton averages 10 points and 7 rebounds in his 7th season. Don't forget that. So that when they go and trade Dalton Knect, who I guarantee you, when given the opportunity, will average 15 points per game minimum, right? When they go and trade Dalton Knect for Knect Claxton, and they throw in the 2031 first round pick, for, mind you, 10 points and 7 rebounds a game, and then they maybe throw in a 2030 pick swap, right? Remember what I told you. They're trying to lay the framework so that it is not their fault. And they're using these stupid ass talking heads to do it. I'm talking about Anthony Irwin. I'm talking about Trevor Lane. I'm not so much talking about Alan Slee or the Kamenetsky brothers. They're a little bit better about this. But those two, I'm telling you, they're laying the foundation for blame right now. Right? Or lack thereof. Right? They're getting rid of their accountability right now. Dalton Knect is better than what they're saying, y'all. We all saw it early in the season, and they're trying to discredit it. They're trying to make it seem like the reason why the dude didn't play is because he got dumber as the season went on. What happened was Austin Reeves started playing better. Austin Reeves needed more time, and what's his name came back. The guard who was hurt that we picked up from Miami, can't remember what, Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent came back. And Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves got more time and are getting paid more money. And that's what happened. Dalton Knect was kicking ass earlier this year. And the Lakers were playing well with him in the lineup. But you know what he was? He represented what they often call in football a quarterback controversy. And because he represented a quarterback controversy, they found a way to trivialize him. That's what happened. You know, and I'm listening to Anthony Irwin. It's like, yo, man, who are you doing this for? I mean, who? Yeah, it's did we not watch the same season? Did I? I mean, I watch basketball games all the freaking time. The Lakers in particular. I did not see what Anthony Irwin was talking about in his interview with Locked On Nets. What the F are you talking about, man? I mean, how could you even propose trading a first round pick for Knect Claxton? He's 10 points and 7 rebounds. Fucking do your homework and go find that somewhere. Right? When Miami went and found Hassan Whiteside in some gym, go find that shit somewhere. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man. I don't know what's wrong with Laker Nation. You know, I'm telling you, I go back to what I said before. You guys move like you're rich. And the NBA got rid of all the rich teams. Yeah, you got Los Angeles and you got the Laker legacy. Yes, we have that, right? But outside of that, you're not rich. There are no rich teams anymore. Which means you got to work. And what you're sounding like and starting to look like is a bunch of rich people who aren't rich anymore, but still think they are and think they're better. They were talking about Rui Hachimura for Knect Claxton. There's no way in hell I'm trading Rui Hachimura for Knect Claxton. Straight up, I'm not doing it. You got to be out your rabbit ass mind, man. 10 points and 7 rebounds, y'all. And then Anthony Irwin is hyping up the fact that the Lakers need a lob threat, someone to play defense, and somebody to get rebounds. You're talking about somebody a degree better than Jackson Hayes. Fucking do your homework and go find it. right? And so let's say you get somebody who's a degree better than Knect Claxton, or maybe a degree worse than Knect Claxton, because a degree worse than Knect Claxton is Jackson Hayes. You can't be serious about giving up on Dalton Knect for that. Dalton Knect has been submarined. They have bombed Dalton Knect. They're trying to find a reason to fuck over Dalton Knect, to trade Dalton Knect, right? To have it be justified. That's what they're trying to do. He is the cornerstone and the name thrown into every freaking trade. They're trying to do everything they can to trade Dalton Knect as opposed to Austin Reaves, and to justify it to you. Look, man, for what the Lakers need, Austin Reaves has to go. He has to be the one that's gone. Right? It's just that when you start talking Austin Reaves, you start talking about pissing people off. And I'm telling you, it all falls under that same umbrella of culpability. Right? Of where the blame is going to land. Self-preservation. It's all the shit that is not concerned with the Lakers. You know, man, you ever hear the stories about Jerry West, like being in poor health and not being able to sleep and all this other crazy ass shit? Let me tell you something about Jerry West, man. He made the trades that back up that narrative. He did. He did that. He did the shit to back up that narrative. He made the picks that backed up that narrative. You see, do I know that Jerry West was losing sleep and in poor health and all this other shit? I believe it, but I don't know that. I have no idea what his health was or what he was going through. Personally, I know what I heard. I know what I heard him say. But I don't know what he was going. I don't know that that's true. This is what I will say, though. What Jerry West did to get Kobe Bryant and what Jerry West did to get Shaquille O'Neal was stressful as fuck. The potential he traded, right? Stressful as fuck. Right? I mean, to get rid of Vlade, who became an all-star. And I remember, and it cosigns what I just read in an article earlier this morning. I remember what the league was saying about Kobe Bryant and the fact that you had a 6'6" guard coming out into the NBA. I remember what the league was saying. Jerry West was in the minority. I'll say like that. Because not only think about it, Kobe Bryant was picked number 14. What's that tell you about how the NBA viewed Kobe Bryant? The fact that he was picked 14. Right? 2, when the Lakers traded Vlade Divac for him, the winner was not necessarily Charlotte, and it wasn't the Lakers. Immediately, the winner was definitely Charlotte. Definitely. Not an easy thing to do. Right? And then he did it with a big fucking plan in mind. Right? He traded away Vlade, hoping he was going to get Shaq. Think about that. Shaq, who was the number 3 scorer ever as of recently. Right? Arguably the most dominant. No, he's definitely the most dominant big man I've seen. But you could say he's arguably one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant. Right? You could argue he's the best center ever. Right? And if you guys want to jump me about Nikola Jokic, let me tell you something. Alex Caruso ain't stopping Shaq. Alex Caruso is not doing to Shaq what he did to Nikola Jokic. It's going to take way more than Alex Caruso and Lou Dort. Now, you could run off at the mouth about who's better or whatever. I know I'm digressing, but I'm going to keep hitting this every time I see it. You could argue whatever you want. Alex Caruso and Lou Dort ain't doing that to Shaq. They ain't doing that to Dave Robinson. They ain't doing that to Akeem Olajuwon. They ain't doing that to Patrick Ewing. They're gonna pay for it. I digress. Either way, I believe what they said about Jerry West losing sleep. I believe that. Losing sleep, being in poor health, all that shit. I believe it. You know? And if you're going to trade Austin Reeves, it's one of them court of public opinion trades. Right? That's what it is to the Lakers now. Because that's how the Lakers kind of move now. They're setting up the court of public opinion to understand why we had to trade Dalton Knect. That's what they're doing right now. That's what they're doing. The court of public opinion is being set. You're hearing Dalton Knect mentioned in every trade. Even though, straight up, I ain't trading Dalton Knect for Nick Claxton. Fuck the 2031 pick. F that pick. I'm not even talking about that pick right now. I am not trading Dalton Knect for 10 points and 7 rebounds a game. Furthermore, the Lakers need something that's more proven. Look, this is a route the Lakers should go with the center. I'm going to tell you right now. They trade Dalton Knect or Austin Reeves in the 2031 pick for something substantial and solid. Right? I would listen for DeAndre Ayton. I am not listening for Daniel Gafford or Nick Claxton. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. You could find that somewhere else. You could go get Clint Capella right now, and you wouldn't be far off. Right? And you could probably get Clint Capella for damn near nothing. You don't have to give up that 31 pick. Do that. Value your assets and do that. Not for 10 points and 7 rebounds, y'all. So this is what I would do. Either you go in and you get someone the caliber of DeAndre Ayton or better, right? Or forget that. Forget giving up anything, right? You go get one of these guys that I heard JSM and Laker Legacy talk about earlier. And one guy I've been speaking of. Go get one of these guys, and then you got to do something after. And I'll tell you. But go get Maxime Reynaud, right, from Stanford. Maybe go get Amari Williams from Kentucky. Or go get Tristan Vukcevic from Washington. And this is why I got a beef with JJ Redick. You get one of those guys. It's up to you, JJ Redick, to get them ready for the playoffs. You got 82 games for them not to be rookies anymore. You don't have 82 games to fuck them up and then make them regress like you did with Dalton Knect. To the point that you put the narrative out that, oh, he wasn't ready to play by game 5. We couldn't even use this guy in the playoff. No, that's the narrative you wanted to establish so that no one would question your stupid ass actions. That's what you did. I know what you did, dude. I know what you did, man. I've been around too long, man. I know what you're doing. You set Dalton Knect up for failure. Right? Am I saying that you explicitly did it? No, I'm not saying you explicitly did it. I'm saying you looked at the landscape, thought about yourself, and you fucked over Dalton Knect, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I've seen somebody... Look, man, I've never seen a player perform the way Dalton Knect did. Especially a player that was a mature senior. Right? I've never seen a player perform the way Dalton Knect did as a senior. Right? As a college, 4 years of college. Perform the way he did early in the season. And then end the season in the shits. I've never seen it. Not once in my life have I seen, to that extent, have I seen that. And I know that, and you should know, that when you see something like that happen, it's because there is a little bit more going on behind it. The fact of the matter is, Don't Knect or Austin Reeves has to go. In my opinion, if you're not thinking about yourself and you want the best team, it's Austin Reeves who has to go. It's not even a question to me. You should be able to get the most value for him, and he's too redundant as far as ball handling goes with LeBron and Luka. He's the one who obviously got to go to me. But I don't think the Lakers want him to go. And so I think that they are submarining Don't Knect right now. And the fact that he's getting thrown into trades for fucking Nick Claxton or Daniel Gafford is a freaking joke, man. Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, Clint Capella, maybe even DeAndre Ayton, even though I'm less inclined to say DeAndre Ayton. Because in my opinion, DeAndre Ayton is the best of both worlds. He could be a good position defender and a good help side defender, and he could catch lobs, and he could hit a 15-footer, right? He's the one who's a little bit different to me. But the names that I'm hearing, it's like, yo, this is a fucking joke. And it almost feels like a campaign. Because I'm hearing too many sources say it. You know, what are the chances that Nick Claxton just emerges as the guy? 10 points and 7 rebounds. And that's who emerges as the guy? Right? Just on all these platforms, it's the same name, Nick Claxton. You got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. I'd rather have Maxime Reynaud and tell JJ Redick, look, man, I don't give a fuck who you want to play or what you want. It's your job to get these dudes ready. This is what we got. This is what we're giving you. Get them ready. And I want to see you trying to get them ready. And if you tried and you can't get them ready, that's on us. We need to get you something else. Right? That's how this shit is supposed to work. That's how it should have worked for Don't Knect. Don't Knect, for a long time, should have been our 6th man or 7th man off the bench. For a long time. It wasn't until Austin Reeves, something was going on with him early in the season. Either he wasn't playing well or he was slightly injured. But it wasn't until Austin Reeves started playing well and Gabe Vincent started playing well and we acquired Dorian Finney-Smith that we saw Don't Knect go back to the bench. Yo, you take a young player, go ahead and fuck with their minutes and don't give them consistency. And you see how that young player performs. It's funny. I keep saying, you know, the Lakers keep trying to give auditioning minutes to players. And then when those players don't execute in their auditioning minutes, the Lakers turn around and say, look, see, that guy got to go. He got to go. He's no good. And it's not just the Lakers as an organization. It's the biggest talking heads with the biggest microphone. They say they do the same shit. Give a guy auditioning minutes, and when he doesn't perform in auditioning minutes, they say, oh, he got to go. He's no good. Yo, not every player is Alex Caruso. I don't give a shit what time you give Alex Caruso. That cat is going to come in and do what he got to do. Would he be better if he was given a routine or a chronic, a repeatable a pattern of minutes? Absolutely. But he's just one of them guys, man, who would just come in and just... Lou Dort is another dude. He's just going to come in and give you what he gives you. Right? Don't Knect is not that. Don't Knect is a shooter. Don't Knect is a slasher. Don't Knect is a baller. And I was watching. They often gave Don't Knect minutes as if they didn't understand who Don't Knect was. What do I mean by that? They often gave Don't Knect minutes in which I watched him. I observed him just standing in the corner waiting for Luka or LeBron or Austin Reeves to kick it out to him. He ain't that. Y'all want him to be Steve Kerr. You want him to be B.J. Armstrong. You want him to be John Pax. Just stand in the corner and wait to receive the ball. He ain't that. He's more than that. That's why I'm trying to tell you. He's going to be a 15 to 20 point per game scorer. And yes, props to Rob Pelinka for one, trying to initiate a trade for Mark Williams. I get it. Right? I like Mark Williams. I kind of got that trade. I thought we overpaid, but I got it. Right? But for two, then realizing, wait, hold on. I understand we're trying to submarine Dalton Knect, but this guy is actually pretty good. And when he got time in the moment to play, the motherfucker actually did well. Right? He's the easiest, most attractive piece to trade. Right? I'm not saying he's the most attractive only. I'm saying he's the easiest and most attractive piece to trade. Right? When I say easiest, what do I mean? I mean, if you trade Austin Reeves, you got a portion of Laker Nation who's going to be pissed at you. Period, point blank. I don't give a shit. If you get something back really good for him, nah. Laker Nation's going to be cool. But if you trade and there's any kind of question as to who won the trade, you got an aspect of Laker Nation who's going to be pissed at you. This is the other part of it. The Lakers keep talking about that 31 first round pick. Right? Just remember, if the Lakers trade Dalton Knect, who I think by himself is worth Nick Claxton. Locked On Nets won't say that because they're smart about it. Why would you say that? Dalton Knect by himself is worth Nick Claxton. Dalton Knect by himself has as much or more upside than Nick Claxton. I watch the games. I don't give a shit what anybody says. On this channel, I keep repeating, you got to know something. Well, I know this. Dalton Knect got as much or more upside. He has more upside than Nick Claxton. Dalton Knect will average 15 to 20 points per game next year. Give him 30, 35 minutes a game and you tell me I'm lying to you. He will. And he'll do it well. And his defense won't be half as bad as what these jackasses keep trying to say his defense is. You watch, right? But see, this is the other part of it. And this is the part that's going to F the Lakers up, right? That's going to make the Lakers, and I'm kind of glad about this, because this part is going to ensure Rob Pelinka, in my opinion, gets the trade right. That 2031 pick and that 2030 pick swap are what? 5-6 years away? That means that Rob Pelinka is going to have to live with whatever he does for at least 5 or 6 years. And then, if in 5 or 6 years that pick ends up being top 10, top 5, maybe number 1, he has to live with that another 15 to 20 years. He has to see that. Another 15 to 20 years after 2030, 2031. He has to live with those ramifications. Right? The Lakers aren't coming off that first round pick as easy as people think. And it's not because they should or should not. It's because Rob Pelinka is about protecting Rob Pelinka. You see, the Luka Doncic trade was a no-brainer. It was a trade 32 out of 32 GMs would have made. Right? Magic laid the framework for Anthony Davis. Had our young guys been something when it was time to trade for Anthony Davis, that trade doesn't go down the same way. But the way it stood, it was easy. Right? Get rid of everybody, bring in Anthony Davis, and then fill in around him. You got Anthony and LeBron now. You know? But, man, you can't just flippantly throw in that 2031 pick. You got to live with whatever the fuck that turns into. Now, if in 2031 it turns into the 28th pick, no one's going to say shit. No one's going to say anything. You win. But if for whatever reason it doesn't, Rob Pelinka has to live with that. And so, like I said, it's not about whether the pick should be thrown. I'm not even speaking to that. I'm speaking to who our GM is and his actions and what he's done so far and what we've seen. He is not just going to throw that pick in, man. I wouldn't be surprised if that pick doesn't get traded. It sure as fuck doesn't get traded for no 10 points and 7 rebounds or 12 points and 8 rebounds and Daniel Gafford. Probably not for 14 and 10. And DeAndre Ayton, he ain't throwing that pick in for that. Not with Dalton Knect. It was a future second rounders or some shit like that, but he is not throwing that pick in. Not Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is about Rob Pelinka. No-brainer trade? Yeah, I'm in. I got to think a little bit. Hey, hold on. What? You know, he ain't just jumping into no shit like that, man. Anyway, the point of this video is to let you all know that the names of the centers that are being brought up, they're not worth Dalton Knect in the 2031 first and the pick swap in 2030. They aren't worth that. It's not even close. Just straight up, if you want Nick Claxton, I would not do this. I would not trade Dalton Knect for Nick Claxton. Why? Because you could go find something close to Nick Claxton right now. 10 points and 7 rebounds? Really? You got to be out your rabbit ass mind, man. Yo, these cats are tripping. I hope the Lakers ain't listening to them, although I think the Lakers do listen. I think the Lakers listen to the talking heads. Yo, if the Lakers weren't listening to the talking heads, I would not. Scratch that. If I didn't think the Lakers were listening to the talking heads, I want to bring up the talking heads. I want to bring them up. I don't give a shit about them. But I do think the Lakers listen to them. I'm talking about Rob Pelinka, Laker management, all of them. I think they listen to them because that's the bellwether. They're the bellwether. And I think the Lakers are listening to them, and that's why I bring them up. You know? But, yo, Dalton Knect, 2031 first round pick, 2030 pick swap. Not for these players, y'all. Not for these players. Not for these players, man. Yo, I would trade. One, I would go get Maxime Reynaud and tell JJ Redick, yo, work with him, get him ready, right? Yeah, I'm summing up this video, y'all. I'm just telling you what I would do instead of trading Dalton Knect, the 2031 and the 2030 pick swap. I'm telling you what I would do. I would go get Maxime Reynaud, right? And tell JJ Redick, this is your starting center. Get him ready. That's your job as a coach, is to get him ready. Prepare him, train him, and get him ready. I don't understand what's wrong with JJ Redick that he doesn't understand that. Anyway, I would tell him that. And then I would go get Clint Capella, right? And while you're getting Maxime Reynaud ready, he could start or come off the bench. I don't give a shit, right? I would do those two moves. I would not trade that 2031 or 2030 pick swap. I would not do that. I would not get rid of Dalton Knect. Instead, I would trade Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is a player with value, and we need value back. Trading Dalton Knect for 10 and 7 is stupid. And you can't trade Austin Reeves for 10 and 7. He's worth too much more than that. So you got to weigh your shit. Yo, I'm trading Austin Reeves and maybe that pick to Houston for the number 10 and Jalen Green. And after that point, you could damn near call it an offseason. That's what I would do. I fill in around the margins, and that'd be it. This is who we're riding with. We'll see. We'll see what happens, y'all. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this is Pure Uncut Lakers. Yo, please like and subscribe. Yo, I'm coming a little bit different than these other people, man. I've been watching basketball too damn long. I don't have a pretty... Look, I was thinking about getting a pretty setup, you know what I mean? And a well-produced show and all that other shit. But I think it goes against the brand. Well, I'm trying to show you guys I am not them. I like the Kamenetsky brothers, but I'm not the Kamenetsky brothers. Right? I like Trevor Lane. I ain't Trevor Lane. That's for damn sure. I'm not Anthony Irwin. Yo, I don't represent. I don't have to be. I'm unafraid, y'all. And I curse. I may say something that might offend. But sometimes shit got to be said, man. And I'm worried that if I go and overproduce the show, that it'll take away from some of the frequency I'm speaking on. You know, sometimes things got to be said on a certain frequency. Sometimes movies, right? Yeah, you know, that's funny. I tell my kids all the time, you know, what part of what I don't like about Marvel movies is that, one, they're repetitive, right? But two, sometimes the picture looks better than real life. Like, you take a movie like Reservoir Dogs, right? Like Pulp Fiction, right? In my opinion, it was made more effective because the quality of the film looked gritty like life looks. You know what I mean? Life doesn't always look like high definition. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. And that's what pure uncut Lakers is. It's the raw. It's the pure. It's the uncut. And I got some equipment, like right here. I got some equipment and some lights and shit. And I'm just like, yo, if I put these lights on and use this equipment, I start to look like everyone else. And I almost have it as part of my goal to build this channel not looking like everybody else. Not saying what everybody else is saying. Not to be contrarian just to be contrarian. I'm not trying to be that either. But I don't want to look like them. I want y'all to know, right, that whether you agree with me or not, you're coming to a place where the dude is just giving you the raw, the pure, and the uncut. You know? And so, like, I'm not going to disagree with Trevor Lane to disagree with Trevor Lane. I'm not going to do that. If he's right about something and I hear it from him, yo, I'll give him props on that. Earlier today, I gave JSM and Laker Legacy props on one of their videos. On many of their videos. Because they're talking about the players. Right? I was listening to Anthony, I was listening to somebody, man, and they were talking about Lakers trading for Knect Claxton, and they went on so long without mentioning the names of who they're going to give up. And it's like, yo, man, this is all a part of that shit. This is like when they say, oh, yeah, we need a big. Oh, yeah, we need a 3-and-D. Fuck, I'll go find you a 3-and-D at the gym. I know this 6'6" dude who could shoot his ass off. That's not who you're talking about. What's the point of saying 3-and-D if you don't put a name to it? Saying a big if you're not willing to put a name to it. And then I hear him talking about a big, right? And trading, they got the 2031 Don't Connect for a big, right? Well, what name are you talking about? You talking about Jared Allen? Dang, he might be worth that. What name are you talking about? 10-7 Knect Claxton. 12-8 Daniel Gafford. Hey, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. These guys ain't serious, man. They got too many ulterior motives, right? They're trying to get clicks out of you. And I don't want to come off or even be affiliated in any way with people whose primary goal is to get clicks out of you. I don't want to be that. And I'm a little bit afraid that if I overproduce my channel, that you guys are going to start thinking it's going to take away from the atmosphere, take away from the ambiance, right? You know, I mean, you can't have Reservoir Dogs looking like freaking Endgame. You know what I mean? You can't have Pulp Fiction looking like some romantic comedy, right? Pulp Fiction had to look the way it looked. You know, like shit, The Exorcist, right? I heard what's his name, the director, William Friedkin. I heard William Friedkin talking about The Exorcist and how, you know, he thinks I think he said, yeah, it would have been better today. The film would have looked better. Nah, man, that film and that grittiness and the subject matter. Nah, dude, you did just fine. That movie will stand the test of time. With that grittiness, it's going to stand the test of time. With those special effects, it's going to stand the test of time. There was an analog nature to that film that you get. The smoothness that digital gives you didn't work for that film, right? And what I'm getting at is that I don't think that it would work for this channel. I don't know that. You guys might appreciate it. I'm going to try. I'll try. But I don't know that it works for this channel, man. Because I don't want to be affiliated or even look like some of the bullshit. I want y'all to know that when you see this shitty ass camera and this poor lighting and this ugly ass mug, that you guys know, okay, this is that dude that gave us the real last time. He ain't on that bullshit, you know. Anyway, man, we'll see about it. But yo, I appreciate you guys, man. Like I keep saying, yo, this is therapy for me. You know, it's therapy for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it. You see the amount of videos I put out. I put out the videos. I don't have the subscribers because it doesn't matter to me, man. It really doesn't matter. Would I like to have more subscribers? Absolutely, absolutely. But man, what do I give a shit, man? I'm 48. I got a great job. Fantastic children. Man, I don't give a shit. Anyway, y'all keep it real, man. You stay up out there, okay? Take care of yourselves, man. Keep your minds right. You know, it's a whole lot. You know, when we turn to the Lakers, when the Lakers do what's in the best interest of the Lakers, for a lot of us, they do what's in the best interest for us, right? When the Lakers are good and they're doing the right things and they're playing the right way, it feels like they're doing it for us, and we're getting something out of that. And that's what I felt like in the 80s with the Showtime Lakers. But you know when else I felt that? When Magic got sick and the Lakers like rebuilt. We're in that rebuilding. I felt it even then, man. Man, when we had Anthony Pillar and Vlade and Eldon Campbell, Eddie Jones, Cedric Ceballos, Nick Van Exel, Anthony Peeler, Antonio Harvey, Robert Ory. I mean, when we were building, it felt like they were doing it for us. Fuck the money, man. Wasn't about the money. It felt like in that, and when those teams were just mediocre, right? We upset Seattle first round, you know, and we were just kind of a little bit above mediocre, man. But it felt like the Lakers were there for us, and we were there for them. That's what it felt like. And it wasn't until recently, really honestly, when Kobe was, the last couple of years with Kobe, you know, kind of felt bad for him, man, because he was just a cash cow, you know. But that's when it started. LeBron came and saved our asses, you know. But then after we won that bubble title, man, since then it felt back to cash cow, man. That's what it felt like. It felt like, and look at last summer's off season. Not a single fucking move, man. But when the Lakers are there for us, we're there for them, and we could tell. Right? We're very similar to the Knicks in that way. The Knicks put out a product, and it's a very flawed product. But man, them motherfuckers bust their ass, man. And when they do, the whole freaking city gets behind them. That's the Lakers, man. That's the Lakers. And all I could hope is that the Lakers do what's best for the Lakers, and not what's best for the business. Not what's best for Rob Pelinka. They do what's best for winning. Right? And that's all I'm in it for, man. So anyway, y'all be cool. Please like and subscribe, and I'll get up with you.